Hey guys, D'Angelo Dr. Webster here, and today I am doing a recap video that a lot of you guys asked for. So this one is about how an individual that I know opened a dental practice for only $30,000. But the big catch is, this person is not even a dentist. So this is a really important video to listen to because there's so many of you dentists out there who are worried that your clinical skills are not good enough to be on your own, and you need a little more experience first. Well, today you're going to hear some highlights from someone who not only were their clinical skills not the greatest, they didn't even have any clinical skills because they weren't a dentist. This was just an individual in a state where it is not legally required to be a dentist to own a dental practice. I interviewed this gentleman, my friend David. I interviewed him several years ago, and I had an old camera, and I didn't have the recording studio I have now, and it was really grainy. So I'm not going to make you sit through the whole thing. You can find the original video in the Facebook group if you scroll back. But we're going to look at some of the highlights today, and we're going to watch it with you. We're going to watch it together, and we're going to go over a little bit of commentary together as we go, okay? So let's get into it. We're going to put this on right now.
In some states, you have to be a dentist to own a dental office. In some states, you don't. And David is one of those people who is not a dentist, but opened a dental office.
Arizona.
And he employed a lot of the principles of efficiency and lean operations that we talk about in this group. So David actually opened his startup practice for only $30,000. And he actually wrote an article about this that I read way back in dental school. And in the back of my head, I always remembered it. And it kind of, something I already believed, but it kind of lit the spark a little brighter. Like, hey, you don't have to spend a bunch of money, like everyone says, to open a dental office.
Right, guys. So you don't have to spend a ton of money. You can, but there's a huge spectrum. Like, you could spend $1 million. You don't have to spend 30 like he did. But if you know you could do 30 and you know you can do $1 million, then there's a lot of wiggle room in between. Maybe you do 500,000. Maybe you do 200. Maybe you're going to do 700. And you just can find different ways to do this, and you have to understand there's different approaches that you can take. Okay? Just because your broker is saying you're approved for 750,000 doesn't mean you have to spend 750. Because a guy out there who knows business did it for 30.
We found a couple of guys graduating.
So we found some guys that graduated from school, and we just hired them to work in his office.
Arizona Dental Association Journal is inscriptions. We took some ads out in that, and we networked with other dentists, partners, and we found a couple of guys graduating from school. I can't remember what school now, but we flew them out from Florida. So that maybe helps over there. And just a dynamite personality.
And these same guys probably could have opened their own practice or bought one on their own.
When we opened up the practice, he was so excited to get going. So we found an energetic, really good new dentist to help practice out.
So I want to hone in on like the magic number, which I think was even the title of your article, $30,000. So right now, when I opened a practice, Bank of America said the average investment that a dentist would make for a startup was $400,000. Now Bank of America says the average is $500,000, closer to $500,000. You did it for $30,000.
Yeah.
So give us a snapshot of what that looks like. I kind of made a post in the group that I was going to interview someone who opened a practice for $30,000, and the first comment was, did they open it in a tent? So did you open it in a tent? Like, what was this facility like? What was your equipment like? Give me a little image of what this dental office looked like, and tell me some of the ways that you were able to save money when you were doing this startup.
Excellent. Yeah, we actually opened 2 offices. But the first one, it was in a strip mall, and it had been vacated by a previous dentist. So
not a dentist.
The plumbing, all that expensive stuff, when you do a dental build out, they are expensive. They really are. But we found a vacated office, and then with that, everything's negotiable. I relearned that over and over again with my startup. And so with the landlord, I went ahead and signed and negotiated a 5-year lease with him. And with that, they gave me 4 months of rent abatement, no rent for 4 months. They gave me, I think it was $5,000. And I just, applied my own elbow grease, painted the office myself, Found a wholesaler for the carpeting.
One of the biggest worries is, am I actually going to make any money? Because with a new business, there's no guarantee. I was fortunate enough to be profitable from my first month and very profitable even from my very first year. But many startups don't actually turn a profit or have a profitable year until sometimes the end of the first year or the second year. Did you see a lag of a year or two before you turned a profit, or from the first year were you able to say, this was a great investment, we got a good ROI, and this is a successful business?
You know, you have a great profession. We had money coming in. I think at the second month, we were extremely profitable. Money flowing in. It took a little while. We had our state Medicaid program that kind of helped us out at the beginning. We did a lot with that. And they don't pay super fast. They pay well. It took a little while to get the money coming in from the state Medicaid. But on month 2, money was coming in. Pretty good. And we were profitable every month after that.
Which is why you did it again and got a second office.
Oh, yeah. Great business to be in.
So guys, this guy, again, he's not a dentist. And to him, where dentists, when they do a startup, sometimes take a year and a half, 2 years to turn a profit, he's basically laughing and saying he was just overflowing with money and profits by the second month. And he's just laughing, talking about opening a second office because it was so profitable. He couldn't believe it. It's like, you can't believe that dentists can't figure this out. Okay? So, this is just to make the point. Like, if you're a dentist and you want to be a practice owner, okay? Not every dentist does, but if you do, you don't need to wait years and years. You can run the business. It's a separate skill. If you want to get a little bit better at implants, you want to get a little bit better at endo, those are not reasons to put off buying a practice or starting a practice if you want one. Your clinical skills don't have to be great to be a practice owner. That guy showed that you can literally have 0 clinical skills and still be a very successful practice owner. Food for thought. Stay lean. If you like my videos and my content, please invite your other dentist friends and dental student friends to join the Practice Biopsy Facebook group.
Making it happen, and we so passionate. Right. With dental training, growing your dental practices every single day. Gotta keep rising, be a better version of you. We call it Kaizen. Yeah, Practice Biopsy. Going up, no stopping. Yeah, Practice Biopsy. Let's go.
office. The equipment would have been the next biggest expense. And so we did a lot of shopping. Then I went to the big boys, Henry Schein, the Patterson sales rep, and holy cow, they want you to spend all this money for the brand new latest equipment. And so didn't go for that. We actually, there's quite a few used, refurbished, if you will, dental places out there. We found one in California, and they installed everything, and ended up with some really nice refurbished ADEC chairs, and the equipment wasn't bad. It was good
So
stuff.
you have refurbished ADEX. Okay.
For the chairs, we had a delivery system from the back, and so got all the suction, everything else from this used outfit, and then the supplies. Again, I didn't buy from the big boys. I found a place online. It was a lot less.